Hi guys and welcome to OTC. I'm your host Buddy1927. Today we are going to be talking about camouflage. And in this episode we're going to be talking about camouflage in two different steps. Our first step is actually what you can do to get your tank ready before you get into the battlefield. How to set up your tank in the garage so you are less visible on the battlefield. Now you can apply this to all your tanks, not just to your lights, your snipers, your TDs, or your SPGs, but also to your heavies and your fast-moving mediums. Because camouflage is important to all 5 tanks, not just limited to stationary tanks. It is applied to all tanks. Now, before we get into everything, let's start off with the basics of camouflage. All tanks have a base camo rating. And that base camo rating is depending on the profile of the tank. As you can see, this is the Snug. It has a very low profile. So the because of the low profile, it's less likely to be detected because of the low profile of the tank. And it has a good base camouflage rating. Now compared to the Chaffee, which is a light tank, you can see the profile is a lot higher and it's a lot easier detected because of the profile of the tank. Now compared to the Wolverine, it has basically the same profile. So the camouflage rating between the Wolverine and the Chaffee are a lot higher. Now the tank that has the worst camouflage rating, base camouflage rating, is the TOG. This is because of the massive size of the TOG. So, depending on the type of tank that you have, determines your base camouflage rating. And what we want to do is actually increase your camouflage rating. Now, what camouflage does, it allows your tank to be less detected. It will still be detected even if you have even if you have everything set right. Your tank will still be detected. But the higher your camouflage rating, the closer you can actually get to your enemy. Now, once you get within 50 feet of any tank, all tanks are visible within a 50 meters of the tank. So it doesn't matter how good your camouflage is. Once you reach 50 meters, your tank is visible to everybody. And once you get out of that 50 meter range, is when the camouflage rating starts going up and up. The further away you are, the less detected you are. Now, what we want to do is actually make your tank increase. And if you press your exterior next to your service button, you see exterior. You click on that, and I'm going to blow this up so you can see this a lot better. And you have your camouflage settings here, and you have your options on how to apply the camouflage. Excuse me, guys. Now, in World of Tanks, there are 3 different types of maps. There's your winter map, your summer map, and your desert maps. Now, if you come to here, click exterior, and you click on this one here, oh, my tank is camouflaged. No. You have to pick camouflage for all 3 maps. Your winter map, your summer map, and your desert map. So you want to make sure that you get the right type of camouflage for the maps that you use and your tank. Now you have 3 options to apply the camouflage. You got 7 days, which costs you 12,500. You got 30 days, which costs you 50,000 credits, or you got permanently camouflaged, which costs you 125 gold. Now guys, this is what I recommend. If I'm in my lower tier, I decided I'm going to grind through, say, the US Heavy line. Tiers 1 through 4, I'll pick the 7 days because you can quickly grind through each tank. That way you save some jingle in your pockets. Now when I get to about 5 or 6 tier tanks, you gotta earn more XP. So the more XP you earn, the longer it takes you to grind through that tank. So I'll click 30 days on that tank, and that way I still have a 25% increase on my camouflage rating of that tank. And if I decide I like the tank I am, and like this is a tier 5 tank destroyer, but I like the tank and I decided to keep it, so I permanently camouflaged the tank. Now, since we're on the exterior, let's go over. You can add emblems. You get different types of emblems you can choose from. You got animals, military, military. You got miscellaneous, which is what my skull and helmet is. And as you can see, my skull and helmet. Or you got nations, flags of nations or armies that you can put on your tank. And depending on the tank, some tanks you can put 2 emblems on, some tanks you can only put 1. Some tanks you can put 1 inscription on, or you can put 2 inscription on. All you have to do is, once you get everything set, hit accept. It gives you your total, both in credits and in gold, and it lets you see what you have selected. And all you have to do is hit accept, and then your tank is now permanently camouflaged. So, since we went over that, now I don't recommend this for every tank. Depending on what type of tank that you have, is camouflage net. I don't have a camouflage net on this tank because I have the gun rammer, the vents, which add 5% to my crew's skill, and also some to the perks, and I have binocs, which add 25% to my view and range. And because this tank is on the move, camouflage net would not be beneficial to this tank, mainly because camouflage net only works when it is stationary. So as we get into it, I'm going to pick my Chaffee. I'll pull up the thing, I'll blow that up so you can see that a lot clearer. And as you can see, the camouflage net adds additional 25% to your camouflage rating. So if you have the camouflage net and the exterior paint, you've now increased your camouflage rating by 50%. So this makes your tank a lot less visible. Now, one catch about the camouflage net though, it's only active when you have been stationary for 3 seconds or more. And once you move your hull, not your turret, but your hull, the camouflage net becomes inactive until it becomes stationary again for 3 seconds. So, depending on what type of tank you have and how you are playing that tank, is whether or not camouflage net is actually beneficial to you. Now, the third thing, oh no, that was the third thing. Fourth thing is your crews. Let me pull up my Hellcat here. And as you can see, I have a good crew on this thing. I have first lieutenant, 2 second lieutenants, 2 first sergeants. So that means this tank, these crews are actually pretty well ground. Let me pull up my gunner here. And as you can see, he has 100% trained in camouflage. Excuse me, guys. You gotta forgive me, guys. I'm suffering from a lung infection and sinus infection, so that's why I sound a little bit different, and that's why I'm not on camera today. But he has his training at 100% in camouflage. Since I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys, that means this lieutenant here has actually increased my camouflage value by 20. Because I got 5 guys and he's trained at 100%. Take 100% divided by 5, that's 20%. So that's why he has his camouflage rating up to 25%. 20%. And I'm currently learning camouflage on my commander and my driver because my commander I added 6 cents, and I added clutch braking to my driver. And my second perk on all my crew is Brothers in Arms. So, because they haven't had their camouflage rating yet, I'm adding their camouflage. And you gotta remember, when you are doing this skill, it's cumulative, which means from 1% to 100%, it will add to your camouflage rating. And like I said, I'm not going to get into the math of all that, but currently this tank is well camouflaged, and you'll see this in the video. So you want to make sure that your crews are training in camouflage. Now, I recommend camouflage training as the first skill perk for all your crews if you are a TD, a sniper, a medium tank, or a SPG. And I recommend it for your third perk in your heavies, because heavies still need to be camouflaged. And you gotta realize something: once your tank, the better your tank is camouflaged, the less it is detected while it's moving or not. So that's it for the skill of that. Some of the basic things I like to talk about camouflage is your camouflage rating when you are sitting still is at 100%. Once you make a movement on your hull, not your turret, but your hull, your camouflage rating goes down by 50%, except for the light tanks. Light tanks retain their camouflage rating at 100% all the way, while they're moving or not. So, this is why it's important to learn camouflage skill, have your tanks painted, because that will help with your camouflage rating. Now, if you're in a bush and you're a sniper and you fire and you become visible to it, it's because you were either too close to the bush or something. But once you shoot your gun, your camouflage rating will drop from 100% to 10% from the time you shoot for, I think it's a duration of 6 seconds, 3 to 6 seconds, because of the muzzle flash and the smoke and all that makes you visible. And because if you're too close to the bush, it actually makes the bush invisible, so you're now more visible to it. So you want to make sure that you have your good camouflage, and if you're sitting in a bush, you want to be at least 15 meters away from that bush when you fire your gun, because that muzzle velocity is dispersed over 15 meters. So if you're 15 meters or more behind the bush when you shoot, that's how those invisible tanks keep shooting you. They don't become visible because they're using the bush as camouflage now. So, but I gotta have some clips of tanks in the training room with CW, and we're going to show you some spotting and how when you're spotted and all that. So we'll go ahead and go to that clip now. Okay guys, we're in the training room now, and as you can see, I'm setting up. Bush is taller than my tank is, so I'm in a good spotting position. And as you can see, when I back up, I want to back up at least 15 meters before I shoot. So that's one thing that you want to make sure you do before you shoot. Back up 15 meters, so that way the bushes in front of you don't become invisible, and you are now a lot more visible than what you have. Because remember, you go from 100% to 10% in your camouflage rating once you fire that gun. Now, waiting for CW, see when we can actually get him spotted on us. And he's coming through the woods. I'm using my binocs. And remember, when you're moving, your camouflage rating actually drops 50%. And because of the terrain itself there, we got him spotted. Tell him to stop. We're going to take a look at him, and you can see that we're 104 meters, and we're on his tank now, and you can see he has not spotted me, but he's been spotted. And now, because he's been stationary for that 3 to 6 seconds, he's now invisible to me again, and he's on the move. Okay, I got him spotted, and he's now we're both spotted, and we're at 38 meters because we're in that 50 meter radius. Both of us have been spotted, but by using the terrain, the first time he actually got up to 103 meters before I spotted him, but he never did spot me. So that's the importance of your camouflage and your terrain, using your terrain. Now this is CW actually getting set up. He's trying to find the right type of bush. He's covered 100%, but he doesn't like the position he's in because of the buildings. So he's going to move to another bush. Yeah, this one looks pretty good. So he's going to get his tank in there. And we're going to, as you can see, he's covered 360 degrees. And as you can see, as we spin around, he is 100% invisible in that bush. This is one of the ways passive scouting is done. You just sit there and you just sit and scout. Now this is me coming up, and my goal is to try to find him. I've been spotted. I'm at 222 meters away from him, and I have not spotted him yet, as you can see. Because he's passive scouting, he hasn't moved his hull, he hasn't fired. I don't know where he's at. Even though my sixth sense went off, it does not give me the direction of where I was spotted at. So I'm continuing after my camouflage popped, and I haven't been spotted. And I'm trying to find him. Where are you, CW? I know you're in these bushes. No, you're not in those bushes. I've been spotted again. I'm at 156 meters now away from him, and I still have yet spotted him. Now, I'm unspotted. I'm thinking, well, maybe he's in these woods. Well, he's not in these woods. See, once you're spotted, Sixth Sense doesn't tell you where you're being spotted from, but you know you've been spotted, and that takes a 3-second delay. So when my Sixth Sense, like right there, I've already been spotted for 3 seconds, and as you can see, I have yet spotted him. Now I'm at 101 meters away from him, and he has an excellent shot of my side. Because I moved, my camouflage reacted again. Now I'm at 95 meters, and I still have yet spotted him. But he has spotted me. The closer we get. And now you can see I finally have been spotted, and you can see that 3-second delay. And we're at 46 meters. We're within that 50 meter radius of your camouflage. Once you are within that 50 meter radius, I'm at 53 meters now, you will actually see that he and myself actually, if we don't move, I moved there, we both became invisible to each other again. But once I break that 50 meters, we're both visible again. So you got that 50 meter radius on there. Okay. Well, the next thing we're going to do, and what it's showing you, no matter how far away you get without that 50 meters, you become invisible again. I'm at 49 meters, so I need to back up a little bit more. Right at 50 meters, now we're at 53. at 68. I should go invisible there. My camouflage just popped. Now I'm invisible to him. He can't see me and I can't see him. Now, the next thing you can do, other than the bushes, you can actually use terrain to actually camouflage yourself or hide the majority of your tank. And as you can see, my tank's it's spotted, but he only has a shot at the top of my turret. So when you're spotted, you need to back down and let the terrain, but they can still hit you on the top turret, but he only did 37 damage on it. So use the terrain around with you, the ground, the bushes, buildings, to help hide your tank. Now, I'm going to show you what the circle of death is. And CW's going to provide this for me. And as you can see, he's circling around me. My turret isn't as fast as his tank. So he's doing that little circle of death because my tank doesn't turn as fast, or my turret doesn't turn as fast as his tank moves. So we got that going on. He shoots me, I shoot him. And as you can see, my turret cannot keep up with him. And you hear all the bells and sirens saying, "Hey idiot, you're dead." That's the circle of death, and that's what you want to avoid as much as possible, so use your camouflage. Well guys, I hope you learned a lot about camouflage today. I try to get as much information and make it as simple as possible. Remember, use your camouflage paint. Paint your exterior. Grind your crews to learn camouflage. Use the terrain to help hide your tank, and also use the terrain to help hide your shots too. So I hope you all understand camouflage now. If you have any questions, leave questions down below in the comment area. Or if you are on the NAFTA team, you got a question about camouflage, and I'm on TeamSpeak, just ask or leave a post in the forum. I'd like to thank you all for watching OTC. If you like this episode, please like us on YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed, hey, you want to know when the next OTC comes out? Subscribe. You'll be sent an email when the next OTC or NAFTA films or one of our other video series comes alive. I'd like to thank you again for watching OTC. Save some tanks on the battlefield for me.